This is not a normal video coming from me. I'm an art account. I make animatics and I draw Minecraft YouTubers, but sometimes I find myself too invested in those YouTubers. So today I'm here to info dump about one of my favorite people on the Dreamsmp server, Alex Quackity. Let's start off with some basics. Dreamsmp is a Minecraft survival multiplayer server that follows several different content creators who stream live on the server. It's kind of similar to SMP Live in a sense, except Dreamsmp doesn't have hits, and it doesn't have the rule that you must stream live to play on it. SMP Live had some lore, but Dreamsmp has more lore. It has a consistent plotline written and improvised by several people. A plotline that I won't go into in detail here, but it follows several of the content creators playing characters. There's about 20 plus people on the server, and most of them have stated that their real persona and their character they play on the SMP are separate. For example, one of the streamers on the server is Wilbur Soot. Wilbur is a musician who lives in the United Kingdom and is a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer. Overall, he's a very nice guy. He wrote most of Season 1 on the SMP. His character was an insane, callous ex-president with the urge to blow his nation up, which he did in the end, and died by making his father kill him. Now he's a ghost. He's sweet and really doesn't remember what he did to the nation of Lamamberg. He also really likes the color blue. But I'm here to talk about Quackity. Quackity is basically a persona the content creator Alex plays on livestream. He talks about it here.
This is not me being Quackity. Quackity's a persona. What you see on most of my social media, that's a persona. And who's speaking right now is Alex. This is me.
Quackity is very loud and funny, cracks a lot of jokes, and is very entertaining. Alex is more laid back, and Alex knows when he should break character in situations. From here on, when I say Alex, I'm talking about the content creator. When I talk about Quackity, I'm talking about the character Alex plays on the SMP. Now that the pleasantries are out of the way, let's dive deep into Quackity's character on the Dreamsmp. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Quackity is very power hungry. He stays loyal to the people who gives him power and will leave to switch sides to gain power. On a stream Wilbur did a couple days ago, he talked about what would have happened if POG 2020 won the election.
Here is the one that would have happened if POG had won. Wilbur becomes president by a landslide. Tommy and Wilbur's first act is to imprison Schlatt for his crimes on voter fraud. Quackity wishes to join Lamamberg, so Wilbur and Tommy order him to build a second layer of the wall to ensure no Americans can get in. Schlatt convinces Quackity to leave a fault in the wall to be exploited at a later date with I put a question mark in there. A festival is held to celebrate Wilbur's inauguration. The festival is attacked by the Dream Team or others. Lamamberg is besieged by war once more. The attackers demand Wilbur step down, and also the people of Lamamberg demand Wilbur step down for failing to keep the peace in Lamamberg's walls. Wilbur steps down in a heartfelt moment, making Tommy the president. And end of treatment.
The thing that stood out to me was that Wilbur talked about how Quackity could have left a fault in the wall just for Schlatt to escape prison. Quackity stayed loyal to Schlatt even though he was working with Tommy and Wilbur. He probably knew that Schlatt was going to attack Lamamberg, and by building a hole in the wall, that would let Quackity gain Schlatt's trust if he did a hostile takeover of the government or escaped prison. But now let's talk about the canon story. When Schlatt started to become a drunk and not listen to Quackity, his vice president, Quackity betrayed Schlatt and left. Quackity did make a point though, that Schlatt wouldn't be president if they didn't pool their votes together.
Fucking low T.
You are literally in fucking power because of my votes. You would have no fucking power if it weren't for me. You used my fucking votes to come to power.
From the start, Quackity was aiming to become president of the SMP. He ran with George, and during the campaign he found out that George was a little too lazy to run with him or show up to official events. In a last-ditch effort, he went with pooling his votes with Schlatt because he knew he wouldn't get enough votes. After Schlatt became president, all Quackity could do was sit back and watch from afar. This was the last thing he wanted. He doesn't stop Techno from killing Tubbo. He doesn't stop the construction of the buildings, he just stands by and watches, because that's all he could do as vice president. Hi, I'm editing the video right now, and actually Quackity does try to stop Schlatt from making Techno kill Tubbo. But still, the only thing Quackity could do in this situation is stand by and watch. He has no voice.
Schlatt, are you sure? Listen, we haven't trapped, he's jailed. I think that's enough for breaking the Constitution.
Not enough.
Quackity became powerless. It all comes crashing down when Schlatt starts to destroy the building he cares most about, the White House he built. They fight, and Quackity shoots Schlatt and leaves indefinitely, and finds Tommy in the woods. He finds another team to embed his trust in to gain power, Pogtopia. This can tie into the plotline of him wanting to resurrect Schlatt as a political puppet. This might not be canon anymore, but Quackity did bring up the law against satanic rituals to Tubbo a while ago, which confused Tubbo. He will use people to his advantage to get what he wants, and he doesn't care about what other people think of his ideals. One good theory could be that Quackity made Mexican Lemamberg, aka El Rapids, just to become the president of something. He's always strived for the title of president or leader, so he took it upon himself to separate from Lemamberg and make his own faction where he rules. I also think that Alex knows his character is weak. He doesn't care for armor that much on the server and is kind of bad at PvP, so he gains his power through his words. People like Techno and Dream fight their way to victory. Quackity is also a very good negotiator. He sticks to his decisions and viewpoints and stands up for what he believes in. He also calls people out on their bullshit. I want to bring attention to this clip.
List.
I'm building a country here. This is what we have over there is a country, and what we need here is organization and power. And I don't care how long it fucking takes me or what I have to do to get you, Techno. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to kill you, Technoblade.
Notice how he changes from I to we many times in the speech. When he says we, he's actually talking about himself. This whole speech is for himself. This might make Quackity a villain, but basically every villain on this server has ideals people can relate to. Along with Carl, I might do a video on him next, Quackity never felt welcome in Lemamberg since he was American. He aims to build a nation for himself that includes his viewpoints, but he hides behind a group of people so he doesn't look controlling. Now, with the Butcher Army, he is able to take charge and he is able to speak his mind under the semblance of the word we. Speaking of the Butcher Army, Quackity basically has control over Tubbo in a sense.
Dream? Open your Tubbo, open your fucking eyes, man. No escape from us. Where do you think Punts came from, Tubbo? Where the fuck do you think Punts came from?
Tubbo might be the leader of Lemamberg, but Quackity is the self-proclaimed leader of the Butcher Army, which has way more power. The Butcher Army is basically Lemamberg's military force. Quackity controls Tubbo at this point since Tubbo is below in the ranks of the military force. Tubbo being a part of the army goes against all of his ideals. Tubbo is a pacifist, he advocates for peace, but him being a part of a military force with a hit list goes against everything he stands for.
Hey, everyone! That's enough, okay?
Even though Quackity thinks mostly about himself, he also cares about his friends. Before the War of Lemamberg for the Season 1 finale, he talked to Tubbo about wanting to run away.
That side means we're going to fight for a country, and that side means we run away and we get out of here.
2, 1. Okay. Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed, big kid.
But in the end, they both agreed to stay back and fight with everyone. He has close friends like Carl, Sapnap, and George, and probably won't betray them, but he knows who to take advantage of to get power. I found this on Reddit. OP says, Quackity is evil in that he wants power and strength, but not evil in how he treats his friends. He genuinely wants to be friends with Tommy and Tubbo. A good showcase of this was when he helped Nikki during Jay Schlatt's rule, and the fact that he didn't want Wilbur and Tommy to be exiled. He is evil in how he wants power for himself, however. Also something to add, no one can control Quackity because he has nothing of material value. Material items are very important on the SMP, seen with Tommy and his discs. Tommy can be controlled because the fate of his discs are dangled above his head. The last thing I want to talk about is Quackity's alignment. Wilbur talks about alignments in this Reddit post. This is what Wilbur says about Quackity. Quackity is very easily in the neutral good quadrant. He only wants to kinder a more peaceful world, and he will follow his own path to reach it, ignoring possible dissent from biased angles. Here's some info about neutral characters if you're not into D&D. Neutral good characters stick to what is good by means of doing what is good without bias for or against order. They value both personal freedom and adherence to laws. They feel that too many laws may be unnecessary, and they might restrict the freedom of the good beings. This can be seen when Alex talks about the walls of Lemamberg. Neutral good characters promote governments which hold broad powers, but do not interfere with the day-to-day lives of the citizens. This can be about Schlatt. Quackity is against dictatorship, but he knows Schlatt is a dictator. A neutral good character will keep his words to those who are not evil and will lie to evildoers. This perfectly ties into Alex's character on the SMP. He values personal freedom, but also thinks about the common good for the people. He will keep his words to people and is trusting to his closest friends. Okay, we're finally wrapping it up here. Quackity might have had a minor role in Season 1, but ever since Wilbur stepped down from the writing team and Alex started to write with Techno and Dream and Tubbo, his character has gotten much more interesting. I'm very excited to see where this character goes in the continuing story. That's all. I just info dumped about Alex Quackity for a very long time, so I hope you enjoyed it. I kind of want to do a video on Carl next, because, yeah, and people on Twitter were like, I will totally watch you do this. So, I'm really talking about subscribing now, so if you want to subscribe. So yeah, bye!